Hello everyone, welcome back to Christian's Colloquy. I'm Christian and I'm so glad to see you again. It's been a while since I've uploaded on this channel, but here we are back at it again in 2023. So first of all, it's been a while, but I want to say Happy New Year everyone. I hope that your new year is getting off to a great start. If you've made any changes or commitments, I wish you well in those and I pray that you will be able to follow through. Today, I wanted to just upload something because it is a new year and I have big plans for this channel. I feel like every year I have big plans for this channel, but what's new? So here we are. But first of all, before talking about what the channel is going to be going forward in this new year, I just want to take a look back with you right now. So for those who are new to the channel or are just interested in some stats, this channel was started several years ago now. I started it at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in April, right in the midst of that initial lockdown here in Ontario. And the reason for this was because I was missing people. I was missing my church. At the time, I was a youth leader at my church, and I was starting to make videos to connect with the youth group since we weren't having Sunday school. And I thought, hey, another way I could connect with my church and continue to discuss the stuff that I was learning at the time in seminary was to start this channel. And the channel, the idea was to make church history accessible. I would share with my audience, primarily I was thinking of my congregation, little things from church history that I was picking up in my reading and would love to share with them. So mostly that was figures from 17th and 18th century evangelical history that I thought my listeners, my church would love to hear about, love to learn about. And from there, it just sort of grew, where looking at it now, the channel has over 320 subscribers. I've amassed over 15,000 views across my 74 videos, and it's just been an amazing time. My audience has grown to include not just personal friends and family from church and seminary, but also a lot of you who found me on the internet, whether it was through Reddit or Twitter or Facebook or just searching in your search bar for something interesting that we both find interesting. But there are a lot of you here now, and I'm really grateful for that. So here we are. I thought, let me continue it. I have less time now, as you can imagine. I'll get into that a little bit with, of course, the pandemic in a new stage where things are open back up. The world's open back up. I'm going to my new school in person now. I'm spending more time out with friends. I'm busy with my studies, but this channel is a part of what I do. It's something I love to do. Frankly, I'm only doing this because I love it, and whether it was 5 people watching or 500 or 5,000, I would still do it, I think, because it's a good time for me. It's something that allows me to be creative, to share what's on my mind, and to just have a conversation with people that I otherwise wouldn't be able to talk to. So 2023, we got lots planned, but just another small scale look backwards. In 2022 on this channel, less time again, but I was able to put out 16 videos, and a lot of those were the same old content with me sharing a bit from history, looking at an evangelical figure, sharing some of that history, but I also tried some new things. It was during 2022 that I introduced my A Baptist Thoughts On series, where me as a Baptist elder and just a Baptist would share my thoughts on some things that aren't traditionally Baptist-y. So I had a video on a Baptist views on the Crusades, on the sign of the cross, and that was just to stimulate conversation. I know hearing some comments and just seeing how people reacted, that some people didn't like my Baptist views on some things, but that's the nature of dialogue. We have disagreements, we have thoughts, and I think this is a great place through YouTube, through the places where I share it, whether Reddit or Discord again, to have those conversations. It was also during 2022 where I had a few videos dipping into moral theology or Christian ethics, where I had my friend Connor on and we talked about creation care, stewardship of the earth, and we got into some interesting topics. But this year, looking back on that, I think it's another place where I want to have a fresh take on this channel. I want to do some of the stuff that's same old content, but also some of the stuff that's new to me and perhaps new to you as well. So, what's the dividing line here between 2022 and 2023? Well, for those who don't know, I'm in the exact middle of my PhD. So when I started this channel, shortly after I started this in 2022, I just graduated from seminary with my Master of Divinity, and I was moving into a PhD program. And for the past 2 years, I was in that PhD program during my coursework stage. So I was in PhD seminars, I was researching, and I was just getting my bearings and familiarizing myself with academic research. That's the standard path. But just this past year in 2022, not only did I finish my coursework, I also submitted my thesis prospectus, which gave a general idea of what my main project will be, my dissertation. And then in December, which is why I was MIA for a few months, I completed my general exams, which is my school's equivalent to comprehensive exams. So that was reading 30 plus books and then writing two 24-hour exams, which were big essays, and then having an oral exam with my committee, which was a lot of work, a lot of stress, but I got through it all. So now I'm in a new stage of my PhD working on my thesis proposal. But it's as I work on my thesis proposal and get used to setting my own pace, I'm done with coursework and those assignments, but now I have to get on with my own research, that I'm realizing this channel has to change a bit. So, what's the plan for 2023? I have a few ideas. First of all, I love the content that I've been doing on this channel, so I will continue to do my classic mainstay videos, introducing figures from evangelical church history, talking about them, their history, their background, and then one of their works or something, an event that they were related to, and then sharing that in hopefully a 10 to 15 and 20-minute top video. I think that's the sweet spot for in terms of interest, but then also getting out some information. So look forward to more of those kind of videos. But in addition to doing those same old videos, I want to do something that makes it a bit easier with my workload. Rather than grabbing perhaps the best known evangelical figures. I know whenever I have Charles Spurgeon in a video, it does incredibly well, but again, I'm not really looking for views here. I'm looking to talk about stuff that's important to me. So I'm going to be shifting gears a little bit and introducing evangelical figures, perhaps not super well known, but important to my studies. So I'm looking at 19th century evangelicalism. I'm looking at evangelical Anglican missions in the West Indies, in the West Africa region. I'm looking at eschatology in the British Isles. So I'll be introducing figures that are important to my studies. Figures who are important to evangelical history, but not well known. They're not the big names, but in the time they were, and they certainly are important. So be on the lookout for more videos. That will mean videos on evangelical figures who are perhaps formerly enslaved people from the West Indies, or African indigenous preachers from West Africa, or the major millennialists of the 19th century. Some of those big names. That's the era of John Nelson Darby and Edward Irving. So figures around those conversations. So be on the lookout for that. I'm incredibly passionate about that. And just recently, if you follow me on Twitter, my Twitter's in the bio down below, in the description down below. You'll see that I'm really interested now talking about black evangelicals from the American South and the West Indies who eventually made it back to West Africa as missionaries. There's so many of them, it's fascinating, but expect those stories to be told on this channel. I think you'll love it. In addition to that, I want to stick to, people love the interviews here, and the interviews were great times for me to have conversations with friends, but then share them with you. So I want to keep doing interviews, but now in addition to talking with my friends and peers and sharing that with you, I'd also love, my plan is to get on some more academic voices on here. So perhaps some of my professors or people who I've met online who've written books or articles, who present lectures, and then allowing them to have a conversation, hopefully with me if they're willing, and then sharing that with you. So you don't just see me talking with my friends for you, but also me talking with experts in the field, people who've made academic contributions, so that hopefully they could bring their expertise to my audience and then just get the conversation rolling from there. A final thing that I want to do on this channel is, and again, this is related to me thinking about ways I could still make videos while respecting that I have a major PhD workload, is hopefully sharing some of the ins and outs of PhD studies. I know I've gotten a lot of questions from my friends or people who watch this channel saying, hey Christian, tell me what it's like doing a PhD. What did you learn in that class? What did you read in this seminar? What was writing two 24-hour exams like? What was on that 30-plus book reading list you had to get done in a few months? So perhaps over the course of this channel, if you have questions about PhD studies in theology, or what it's like being a PhD student at a theological college, and what my day looks like, what different steps in the program looks like, maybe I'll have a few videos or a day in the life video or things of that nature that just show you what it's like. And that might be for some of you. I know some people watching this are currently seminarians or people in college who are thinking, hey, maybe I want to continue my studies and get a PhD. Or I know some of you watching are pastors or perhaps in fields working, but you're thinking maybe I should go back and do a PhD. Hopefully some of those videos would help you make that decision. Or if you're just interested, why do a PhD in theology? Perhaps you're just a person at church and you're wondering, why would someone want to do that? Maybe this would give you that insight. And while it might not be for everyone, and I don't think it should be for everyone, sometimes I doubt myself, I think it would be interesting to hear. So anyway, that's the plan. some of the same old content, that same history, but focused on my studies, interviews with professors and peers who are related to my current research or my academic field, and then finally some videos talking about what's it like being a PhD in theology. Anyway, that's the plan for 2023. Expect more videos. Hopefully I could get 1 or 2 out every month. We'll see how it goes. No promises, but I'm going to really work at it, try to get a consistent rhythm, but that's the plan. So I want to close out here, but one thing I'll mention is I'm doing lots of other stuff in addition to this channel, in addition to my studies. If you're ever interested, in the description down below, if I have anything else I've been working on, I will share it down there. So in the description today, you can find a link to a recent sermon I preached for my church, a New Year's sermon. I think you might like it. And also a blog that I recently published, which talks about life, love, and the local church. Just my honest reflection on why I love the local church and why I think you should as well. Anyway, that's in the description down below. I hope you check it out. Also in the description, please, if you're interested, follow me on Twitter. I'm active there. Get in touch with me. I'd love to connect with you on Twitter. I'm finding out a great place to have church history related conversations. Or you could also check out my blog, which is down there. I have a lot of articles on there. And hopefully we can continue the conversation also in these YouTube comments. So please, this is a colloquy, a colloquium. I want to be having not just me speaking, but a conversation back and forth with you, because that's what it's all about. Anyway, thank you again so much. This channel wouldn't be what it is if it weren't for you watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. So keep doing that. It encourages me, and it just reminds me that people do care about church history. Church history matters, and we should love to learn about it. And I know I certainly love sharing about it. So thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I look forward to a great 2023 with lots of church history, lots of conversations, lots of interviews, and lots of whatever else we get up to here. Anyway, until the next video, take care.